Good morning student. Today we will discuss about the permanent tissue. Good morning student. Today we will discuss about the permanent tissue. Now let's start about the permanent tissue. As you know, what is permanent tissue? Permanent tissue are those tissues which lost the tendency of cell division. Permanent tissue may be of homogeneous in nature, and may be heterogeneous in nature. What is the means of homogeneous and heterogeneous? Homogeneous means the cell of permanent tissue may be structurally similar and perform the common function. Here, homogeneous means the cell of permanent tissues are structurally similar and perform a common function. Whereas heterogeneous means the cell of permanent tissue may be differ in structure but perform the common function. Permanent tissues are of following two types. Permanent tissues are of following two types. Now I am discussing the type of permanent tissue. Types of permanent tissue. Type of permanent tissue. Basically, permanent tissues are of following two types. First one is simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. And second one is complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue. Now today we will discuss about the simple permanent tissue. We will discuss about the simple permanent tissue. So now first one is simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. As you know, simple permanent tissue are homogeneous in nature. Homogeneous in nature. Homogeneous in nature. This simple permanent tissue further divided into following three categories. Types of simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. Types of simple permanent tissue. Basically, simple permanent tissues are of following three types. Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Now we will discuss one by one of these simple tissue. Parenchyma. First of all, the term parenchyma was given by scientists or coined by scientists Green. The term coined by Green. Okay. Now, second point, simple common parenchyma. These are very primitive tissue, also called fundamental tissue. Fundamental tissue. Okay. Next point, primitive tissue and fundamental tissue. Next point, it is precursor for other tissue. It is precursor for other tissue. Precursor. Now, I am going to discuss characteristic features of parenchyma. First characteristic feature of parenchyma is that it is thin-walled living cell. Thin-walled living cell. Thin-walled living cell. Second one is it is a universal tissue. Universal tissue. It is a universal tissue. Now, basically it is present in the pulp of fruit. Pulp of fruit. Pulp of fruit. Now say, next, these tissues are mainly present in bryophytes. Bryophytes body composed of parenchyma. Next, intercellular spaces are present. Intercellular are present. Intercellular spaces are present. Next, cell wall made up of cellulose cellulosic cell wall, hemicellulose, and pectin. Basically, cell wall made up of cellulose. Basically, cell wall is cellulosic. Is to store food material, soft tissue. These are soft tissue. Photosynthetic in nature. Presence of central vacuole. Means, if we talk about the characteristic feature of parenchyma, the first is these are thin-walled living cell or tissue. These are universal tissue because it is present majority in the plant body, hence they are also called universal tissue. Also present in the growing part of the plant body. These are present pulp of the fruit, mainly bryophytes such as Riccia and Marchantia. The whole body is made up of parenchymatous cell. Intercellular spaces are present. Basically, cell wall is cellulosic, hemicellulose and pectin. These tissue stored food material. These are also soft tissue, photosynthetic in nature due to the presence of chloroplast. Due to the presence of chloroplast, these tissue can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Central vacuole, presence of central vacuole. So these are the main characteristic feature of parenchyma. Main characteristic feature of parenchyma. If we talk about the occurrence of parenchyma, occurrence of parenchyma, basically these cells or tissues are present in cortex, present in endodermis, present in medullary ray, and pith. Okay. These. Now next, occurrence, shape of the parenchyma. Basically, the shape of parenchyma may be oval in shape, spherical or rounded, polygonal, hexagonal, in structure, in shape. these are isodiametric. Isodiametric means the diameters of these tissues are similar, length and width are similar. These are basically sheep. Now, the function of parenchyma. Function of parenchyma. Function of parenchyma. First one is storage, second is photosynthetic, storage of waste material, buoyancy, storage. First part, function of parenchyma. The first function is storage. Basically, as we know, these are thin-walled living cells. The main function of parenchyma is to store food material. To store food material. Now, second one is photosynthetic. Due to the presence of chloroplast in parenchymatous tissue, these tissue can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So, photosynthetic in nature because they can make their own food, make their own food, make their own food. Storage of waste material. Some of the parenchymatous cell is stored in waste material such as tannin, mucilage, etc. Waste. Storage of waste material. It is another function of parenchymatous tissue, buoyancy. Some of the parenchymatous cell provide the floating nature of hydrophytic plants due to the presence of parenchyma. Parenchyma means in hydrophytes. In hydrophytes, due to the presence of parenchyma, these parenchyma provide the floating nature of parenchymatous tissue which is present in hydrophytic plants. Then this tendency is called buoyancy. Okay, so these are the function of parenchyma. Now I am drawing here a tissue, parenchymatous tissue. Basically, parenchyma. Now I am drawing the structure of parenchyma. Parenchymal cells are oval, rounded, polygonal in shape. Central vacuoles are present in it. Central vacuoles. Nucleus. It is a central vacuole. This one is a nucleus. It is an intercellular space. Intercellular space. Cell. It is a TS of parenchyma. TS of parenchyma. Cell was basically made of cellulosic. Cell wall is cellulosic. Intercellular. TS of parenchyma. It is longitudinal section cutting of parenchyma. Vacuole. Chloroplast. And this one is a nucleus. This one, chloroplast. This is nucleus. This is vacuole. This one is middle lamella. Basically it is made up of calcium peptide. It is the longitudinal LS of parenchyma. So basically parenchyma look like this. It is the structure about the parenchyma. Now we will discuss the modification of parenchyma. Modification. Modification. Modification of parenchyma. Basically, there are following modification of parenchyma. These are given. First one is prosenchyma. Prosenchyma. Second one is parenchyma. Parenchyma. Third one is chlorenchyma. Next is mucilage parenchyma. And last one is steel parenchyma. These are the modification of parenchyma. Now we will discuss one by one. Prosenchyma. Basically, it is the modification of parenchyma. The cells of prosenchyma are elongated, thick-walled, pointed structure. Basically, prosenchyma present in the pericycle of root. Pericycle. What is a pericycle? It is a structure surrounded by endodermis. Pericycle of root. Next, it provides the prosenchyma. It provides the mechanical support. Mechanical support of the root. Basically, these are elongated, pointed, thick-walled structure which is present in pericycle of root and provide the mechanical support of root. Now, second one is parenchyma. The cells of parenchyma, it is the another modification of parenchymatous tissue. Parenchyma, the cells of parenchyma are small, rounded. Small and rounded. Basically, it is present around the air cavity or air chamber. Basically, parenchyma present in hydrophytes or aquatic plants present in hydrophytic plant. Hydrophytic plants. Hydrophytic plants means aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. Due to the presence of parenchyma, these provide buoyancy. Buoyancy means floating nature. Parenchyma provide the floating nature of hydrophytic plants. Due to the presence of parenchyma, hydrophytic plants can easily float in water or in the surface of water. It is called buoyancy. How it look like? Suppose these are rounded structure and this form air cavity or air chamber, and this one is air okay. Function to provide floating nature. Next is chloral. Next is chloral. Basically, the cells of chloral chyma are elongated, thick walled and compactly arranged. These are elongated, tube-like, thick walled structure like this. Basically, these present in the mesophyll tissue of leaves. Means chloral chyma. These are chloroplast. Due to the presence of chloroplast, these are photosynthetic in nature and can make their own food. These cells are elongated, column-like, compactly arranged, having a large amount of chloroplast. Basically, it is present in leaf. Present in mesophyll tissue. Mesophyll tissue basically palisade parenchyma. Okay. Now next is mucilage parenchyma. Mucilage parenchyma is present basically in xerophytic plants. Mucilage parenchyma basically present in xerophytic plants. Xerophytic plants such as Opuntia, cactus, euphorbia, etc. Basically, these tissues store water. To store water. It is mucilage parenchyma. Basically, mucilage parenchyma is the modification of parenchymatous tissue. Basically, it is present in xerophytic plants such as Opuntia, cactus, euphorbia. The main function of mucilage parenchyma is to store water. Now, last one is stellate parenchyma. Stellate parenchyma basically present at the base of banana leaf. Present at the base of banana leaf. It is called stellate because these are star in shape. The cells of these parenchyma are star in shape. These cells are star in shape. Basically, these are star in shape, hence called stellate parenchyma. Okay. Basically, what is the function of stellate parenchyma? It is also provide the mechanical support of banana leaves. Provide mechanical support of banana leaves. Okay. So these are the modification of parenchyma. Now second tissue is colon. Second tissue is colon. The term colon was coined or proposed by scientist Slidell. The term colon was proposed by scientist Slidell. Now, the main characteristic feature feature. Main characteristic feature. These tissues, these are living mechanical tissue. First one is these are living mechanical tissue. Mechanical tissue. The deposition of pectin, cellulose and hemicellulose occur at corner. Okay. Intercellular spaces are absent. Intercellular spaces are absent. Basically, these are rounded. These are rounded or spherical, oval, polygonal, in shape. It is photosynthetic in nature due to presence of chloroplast. Due to presence of chloroplast, they can also make their own food. Hence, it is photosynthetic in nature. Photosynthetic in nature. Photosynthetic in nature. Okay. Photosynthetic in nature. Now these are the main characteristic feature of colon-chyme. Now I am drawing the structure of colon-chymatous cell. Basically, colon-chymatous cells look like this. This. The deposition of lignin take place at corner. It is the deposition of pectin. Okay. Thank you. Chloroplast. This, it is the cytoplast. This one is cell wall. Pectinocyte cell wall present in it. This one is vacuole. This one is chloroplast. And this one is nucleus. Means the other cells are also present in it like this manner. Other present like this manner. Okay, so this one is the colon chyma. The structure of colon chyma. Structure of colon chyma. So this one is the structure of colon chyma. The deposition of lignin take place at the corner of the tissue. Cell wall is basically pectocellulose means pectin and cellulose. Cell wall is made up of with the help of pectin and cellulose. Chloroplast present in it. Hence, it is photosynthetic in nature, vacuous and nucleus. This is the structure of colon chyma. Now, on the basis of deposition of pectin, the colon chyma are of following type. On the basis of deposition of pectin, this one is pectin. This one is pectin. Due to the deposition of pectin, deposition of due to the deposition of pectin, colon chyma are of following three types. Angular colon chyma, laminar, colon chyma, and third one is lacunate colon chyma. On the basis of deposition of pectin. Basically, colon chymatous are flexible tissue. Due to the presence of these tissue, plant can be flexible in nature. Deposition, on the basis of deposition of pectin, these are the following three types. Angular colon chyma. Now I am discussing angular colon chyma. In angular colon chyma, the deposition of pectin take place at the corner of the tissue. At the corner of the tissue. In laminar colon chyma, the deposition of pectin take place in the manner of plate. In plate-like, here the pectin is deposited in intercellular spaces in plate-like manner. So this is laminar colon chyma. And lacunate colon chyma, in this manner the pectin deposit on the wall of cells and goes towards the intercellular spaces. Okay, so these are the three types of colon chyma on the basis of pectin. How it is look like? Angular colon chyma look like this. Okay.